What's going on, everyone? Gormy here. Today, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the financial side of Football Manager because sometimes we choose saves that are financially challenging, or we end up putting challenges on ourselves financially by making some poor managerial decisions. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to avoid becoming the next Derby County, how to avoid becoming the next Schalke, and how to avoid becoming the next Barcelona. So if you guys happen to enjoy today's video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing is 100% free, so why not hit that sub button? Without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first thing that I want to show you guys is the finances screen as a whole. Show you guys a summary and the projections and how to look at them. So this is post a simulation that I've done with Bayern Munich, which you guys are going to get that tactic coming in the coming days. But they made a boatload of money. And yes, they are Bayern Munich, so they are going to generate a lot of money. But they're a very, very smart club when it comes to generating money. So when I am doing my saves and I look at the projection screen, I like looking at the profit or loss margins. And when you are in the black, which coincidentally in this, it is white, if you are in the black, you are in a very, very strong position, especially if you're making a profit like 187 million pounds a season. Now, when you're in the red, obviously the numbers are going to be in red, but they will have parentheses around them as well. What you want to see a lot of the time, and you will definitely not be worried when you see this, is these little green arrows right here. But when you can start to be kind of worried is when you start to see the red arrows. Now, if they were massive, massive losses, that is when you're like, okay, we need to do something to kind of generate something by maybe selling a player, doing some friendlies, yada, yada, yada. But with a club like Bayern Munich, that is definitely not the case. You don't need to worry about it if you are a giant club. So two more areas that I like looking at when it comes to kind of managing my finances and seeing where a lot of my money is coming from and where my money is being spent on is the income and expenditure screens. So I like looking at the prize money from all the different competitions that we are a part of, so like the league, continental wise, domestic cups, whatever it may be, friendly cups, all that stuff. TV revenue, merchandising, player sales, gate receipts, anything and everything that could possibly be active income, which is what you are able to kind of affect, and then passive income, which just happens over time. And then when it comes to expenditure, you get to see where all your money is going. So if you want to try and cut back on player wages, you get to see what you are paying per season and per month. You can also look at bonuses to try and cut back on bonuses, how much you're going to get taxed through the league, and also staff wages, which in my opinion, staff wages should never be above half of what your players are making. And if they are, then you definitely need to cut back. Now, the second main thing that I look to for money that will help me generate more money is competition money, because obviously you're going to get competition money from placing within your league, placing within a Champions League group, all of that stuff. So when looking at it, you want to go to the rules screen within your league, and it gives you a breakdown on, okay, in the Bundesliga, this is how much money you are making from position 1 all the way down to position 18. So when you're getting further into saves, you're going to be able to come to this screen and be like, okay, I kind of feel like we're going to be able to have a top 5 finish. If we can even finish in first, we are able to make anywhere from this money at first all the way down to this allotment at 5th, and be able to figure out, okay, this is what we're going to be making year in, year out. Now, once you've kind of taken a look over your general finances and your projections, and then looked at competition prize money from season to season, kind of figured out, all right, this is a general idea of what we're going to be able to make and what we are going to spend, then the next step is, okay, if we are making losses, what do we do then? And what you do then is start making smart player sales. Now, we're all guilty of this when we go into a save right off the rip. We're going to find players that we no longer want, or that just aren't going to get playing times, like a Choupo-Moting, Bunassar, Sven Ulreich. Those are definitely the first targets that we're going to try and offload, get a little bit of transfer budget from them, and to clear up the salary. But honestly, you should probably wait to be doing that. The reason why I say wait to sell players and don't do it off the rip, unless it's 100% necessary to generate revenue and just free up some salary to where you can actually make signings to improve the side, you want to wait until at least the January transfer window. The reason being is because players are going to be on form. Some players are going to be off form. Those players that are off form, try and avoid from selling or maybe loan them out, get them on form, and then when they come back, sell them for what their value is. But for those players that are on form or are just absolutely dominating, they're going to be generating interest, and those are the players that you sell. And now it's not just going to be come January. It's going to be come the end of the season as well through the summer because they're still going to have that little bit of increased value. I'm going to use Kingsley Coman for an example here. Now, he only started 16 games but came on as a sub in 26. He has agreed to be a squad player, but he is wanted by Real Madrid. Now, for a player that had 14 goals and 10 assists, his value at the beginning of the season was nowhere near what it is now, and what it is now is anywhere from 69 to 86 million pounds. Now, being that he had a pretty solid season, we won the league, we won the DP Pokal, you can definitely try and bump up the asking price a tiny bit to try and squeeze all you can out of a sale like this because he's not starting game in, game out for you. You're going to be able to make a boatload of money off of a player that isn't starting game in, game out for you, or even if they are a starter and you are trying to make as much money as possible off of them, make sure that you are doing it when they are on form. Don't do it, okay, right at the beginning of the save, I'm going to try and move on Chris Wood from Newcastle. We're not going to get exactly what he's going to be valued at, so we're going to take a massive hit. You don't want to take massive hits because that will hurt you in the long run, especially when trying to make a profit. Now, aside from selling players and competition prize money to generate some income, there is another way that you can generate some income. It's not a whole heck of a lot, but it will help especially the smaller clubs. And what that is setting up your own friendlies. Don't allow the AI or your system manager, your director of football to set up your friendlies. Do it yourself because you are able to figure out, okay, what is going to bring in the most money for us. So for example, I'm going to go to choosing a club right now. We're going to schedule it probably for this Saturday right here, July the 2nd. I'm going to go to similar reputation teams. So a team that I know that a lot of people like seeing Bayern Munich play is Borussia Dortmund. It says it will cost £644,000 to host this friendly. We're going to go ahead and do that. But then you look at the income, £1.4 million. So you're almost making, not only are you making back what you're spending, you're almost making double it. So it's definitely a viable option, especially for smaller clubs to do. And I mean, when you are a bigger club, you're going to be able to make way more money from doing this method. But when you are a smaller club, you definitely want to be setting your own friendlies so that you're able to make as much money as possible no matter what way it is. Now, the last thing I'm going to mention is affiliates. Affiliates can definitely help you make money. Now, Bayern Munich have one set up with FC Dallas to where they kind of get to have first dibs on their players, so that definitely helps player signing wise, but they also get to have a friendly with FC Dallas. By having that friendly with FC Dallas in the United States, they get branding in the United States. They get merchandise sales. They get to spread their club globally to an entirely different country, an entirely different continent. Another club that does this is Manchester City, but they actually own clubs in other countries, such as Melbourne City FC in Australia, New York City FC in New York City in the United States. They got a club in Japan as well. I mean, they know what they're doing when it comes to this. And not only are they getting merchandising sales from these other countries, these other continents, but they are also being able to, share the scouting network. So there are more benefits than just financial benefits to these affiliates as well. So when it comes to trying to get on top of your finances, trying to become the best financial genius that you can possibly become, you want to do the following. Make sure that you're checking on your finances, if not once a month, once every other month. Make sure that you're checking your incomes and your expenditure. Make sure that you're checking your projections as well. Stay on top of your finances. Make sure from season to season you are checking the competition prize money and making sure, okay, this is what we're targeting this season. This is the minimum that we are wanting to try and obtain financially. This is the maximum that we could possibly obtain financially. When you are selling players, make sure that you're doing it the smart way. Make sure that you are doing it to when they have a pretty decent amount of form and that they had a pretty solid season so that you can get the best amount possible. Also, one thing that I forgot to mention earlier on player sales is make sure that you add installments from time to time. Try and get a percentage of the next sale because that never hurts. Another thing, make sure that you're setting up your friendlies. When you set up your friendlies, you have a better idea of how much money you're going to be able to generate from those friendlies. And that last thing that we discussed was getting affiliates for your club. Whether they're a senior or junior affiliate, it is going to help you no matter what, especially if that affiliate is abroad, to where you can expand your club's brand, bring in money, and maybe have a shared scouting network as well, because that definitely helps also. I hope these tips help you when it comes to becoming a better financial manager within Football Manager, because sometimes finances, they give us a big time headache, not only within the game, but in reality as well. So if you guys happen to enjoy today's video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing is 100% free, so when I hit that sub button. And until next time, have a good one. Bye-bye.